Hey everyone, I'm Christopher Kai. I founded the GPS online program, which Forbes has stated helps entrepreneurs become professional speakers. Now you might be thinking, well, why do I need to be a speaker? Well, if you're an entrepreneur, a consultant, a coach, you really want to consider being a speaker. This is why. You see this stack of business cards? We've all been to events. We go to an event, you get excited, you get the stack of business cards, and what happens to them? Nothing. They stay on your desk, gathering dust. When you're a speaker, you're immediately elevated onto a stage, literally. They treat you like a VIP. They often hire you. You get just VIP access. And that's the power between going to an event and networking, when most of the time it's a waste of time. And you will be one of these business cards where it goes nowhere. Look at this. It's insane, okay? As a speaker, it's all about elevating yourself on the stage so you can get the highest probability of success to get more clients, referrals, sales, business partners, investors, whatever you want. When you're on stage as a speaker, you have the best probability of success. And I'm gonna share 3 very basic stories, and I hope you join our phenomenal community. First story is this. The first book I wrote was a college success guide. I wrote this over 16, 17 years ago, and I didn't know this at the time, but as soon as I wrote a book, people started asking me, hey Chris, can you speak where I am? I created a coaching program to help parents and their kids applying to Harvard, Yale, Brown. My point is, after writing the book, I didn't realize it at the time, I was immediately in authority, and then I started getting hired to be a speaker, and then I was able to create a coaching program simply for just being a speaker. Crazy, 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 crazy thing. I've since written a bunch of other books, and the most recent book I wrote is called Big Game Hunting, Networking with Billionaires, Executives, and Celebrities, where now I'm an authority on how do you connect better in business. And that book has literally put me on the map globally, which is insane because I've been speaking for 17 years, but it's really in the last 17 months that I've been able to really have this crazy acceleration. The first story I'm gonna share with you, and you know what, before I share the first story, I'm gonna really encourage you to listen. And I don't be listening just with your ears, but listening with your whole body. Now in the Chinese language, what's crazy is that the very word for listen, if I say 我听你, 我听到你, ting is the word for Chinese, for listen, but Chinese is like Tetris. One character might be one thing, but the character for listen actually has 6 characters. The top left-hand side, you actually have the character for ears, so obviously listening with the ears. But right below that, you're listening with the mindset of being a king. Now on the right-hand side, it's about the person for a person, which is literally being present. I just found this out today where if you're not even present, you're not listening, okay? So the character for person is on the top right-hand side. Right below that is eyes, where you're not just listening with your ears, you're listening with your eyes. Right below that, it's a character for one. And right below that, which is the most important part of the character for listen, is heart. They literally have the character for heart in the character for listen. So what's insane about this one character in Chinese is they're telling you to listen with your ears, obviously, to have the mindset of a king, to listen, to be in present moment, to listen with your eyes, to have one undivided attention, and lastly, with your heart. Now, one is another word for whole, which means you have to listen wholeheartedly. If you actually listen to this video wholeheartedly, it'll transform and shift your mindset, and the mindset is the most important thing in life, because if you start setting your mind of success, all you need behind that is methodology, and that's what my program is about. So the first story I'm going to share with you is my own story. I grew up with no access, no connections, nothing. My mom was a school teacher, my father was a case manager, and the first memory I had as a kid going into school, my first memory was getting punished. My first memory in school was getting punished for talking too much in class. So my teachers at my Catholic school would say, Christopher, you're staying after class and writing I will not talk in class 100 times. When they got really angry, they said you're gonna write it 200 times. But my third grade teacher, Mrs. McDonald, was so angry with me. She said, Christopher, you're staying after class and write I want to talk in class 500 times. Now mind you, I am in 3rd grade. I'm 8 years old. My teacher, this person of authority, the person I respect, tells me, punishes me for talking too much, and I will never forget it, ever. Because after I wrote it, I want to talk in class, I want to talk to class, all the boards in this classroom were filled with my handwriting. So I blame my teachers for my atrocious penmanship. But that's not the point of the story. How crazy is it that, how ironic is it, how ridiculous is it that the very thing that I'm paid for now, quite handsomely might I add, was what I got punished for. The very first memory I got in school was for getting punished for talking in class, and now I get paid to give talks all around the world. Just last year alone, I was speaking in Australia, Toronto, Jamaica, New York, Lithuania, Zurich. All these places I get paid to talk was what I got punished for as a kid. And not only did they punish me as a kid, they also labeled me as having a reading disability, being a slow learner. The worst thing was actually being short, so I was the shortest kid in my class. I was 4'10", graduating from high school, and it was horrible to be short. Even when I got to college, I had self-esteem issues because I was still short. I started getting acne. And when I graduated college, the first full-time job out of college, I actually got fired for a lack of motivation. I'll say that again. The first full-time job I got hired for after college, I got fired for lack of motivation, and now my audiences all around the world think I'm quite motivating. Crazy, right? The final thing I'll share with you is this. I got paid $50 for my first paid speech. $50. Now I'm going to show you, I'm squirming in this video because I want to show you that my first paid speech, I got paid $50. My last one, they always give you half of it before as a deposit, a non-refundable deposit, and they give you the full price after you get there. I don't know if you can see it. I got paid $30,000 for my last paid speech. I tell you this to share with you that it's possible to go from getting paid $50 to getting paid $30,000, to go from being ridiculed, punished for talking too much, for getting fired for my first full-time job for a lack of motivation. So wherever you are, whatever you've been through, whatever scars, whatever people told you that you couldn't do things, listen to my story with your wholehearted eyes, ears, mind, having that mindset, and most importantly, your heart, because if I can do it, you definitely can do it. So keep that in mind, okay? The second story is this. I created this GPS program because, like all things in life, I wrote a book about networking, not because I love networking. I wrote a book because I want to help people. I love to help people, and I found that so many people don't network well, which is why I wrote a book to network. Same thing now. So many entrepreneurs, 96% of entrepreneurs will fail within 10 years based on an Inc. magazine article. So I want to help my clients, my entrepreneurs, clients that are coaches, consultants, personal trainers, wealth managers, insurance brokers, all these people that aren't doing well because they can't get leads, they can't get clients. I want to help them become a speaker so they can get more clients, referrals, they have the highest probability. So my GPS program, I started about a year ago. Crazy that in over just a year, we've helped over 102 entrepreneurs. We're in 90 cities, 19 countries, and 4 continents. One of the examples of our success stories is Shahzad. She was only 20 years old when she signed up for the program. Last year it was $2,000 investment, and she was scared, she wasn't sure she can do this. I said, Shahzad, you can do this. A year later, she's booked 10 speeches. She created an online program where she's an expert as a millennial, helping corporations understand how to market to millennials. And her most recent speech she booked was at IKEA. She's only 21 years old, okay? So you can do this regardless of what age you are, wherever you are. Shahzad has proven the way. Dragana, she used to be a former tennis player, went to UC Berkeley, she used to work at Nestle, one of the top companies in the world. She used to have a studio for yoga. She's a phenomenal woman. She decides to join my program. She becomes a transformational coach where she helps remove roadblocks from her very successful entrepreneur clients. Last time I heard, she was like in Dubai somewhere where she's created a program. She's not location specific, so she created a program where she can do whatever she wants, coaching clients and travel wherever she wants as long as she has Wi-Fi and a computer. We live in a world which is unprecedented. The online training space is $107 billion. I read this other article, e-commerce, where in 2025, the e-commerce space will be $325 billion. It's crazy. So do I want to teach you how to be a speaker? Yes. But speaking, I define not only is it speaking in front of the stage, but speaking is what I'm doing right now. Speaking is on Instagram. Speaking is on Snapchat. Speaking is on Facebook. And you don't have to be great at technology. I am not. But it's about simple things to market yourself, which is free online, okay? The last story I'll share is, maybe you're more experienced. I have one client, he's in his 50s. He's built 58 companies in the last 30 years. He's raised $500 million of capital. And he recently tweeted me and saying, or texted me and said, Chris, thanks to your program, your guidance, I secured a mid six-figure gig, mid six-figure. This man is an experienced entrepreneur, but even him, it's about teaching him how to share stories. It's about teaching him how to be a speaker, and being a speaker is the best way, in his case, to get clients. So I just share with you 3 stories of our program in just the inaugural year. We're already in 90 cities, 19 countries, and 4 continents. Join our community. It's crazy. The last story is your story. It's not enough for you to have a story. It's not enough to have a book. It's not enough to have all these things. If you don't understand the branding and business side of speaking, you will never get the price points you deserve. You will never get that stage you deserve. And that's the most important thing. Our program is about helping you share your story in a way that you can monetize. We can build a program where you can travel all around the world. I have clients that want to spend more time with their kids. I have clients that want to spend more time with their husband and wife. And having an online program will give you that flexibility. So whether you want to be a speaker like myself and travel all around the world, or you have an online coaching program, which I also have, I highly encourage you to do both. That's the best thing. The 3 main obstacles that I see in my clients that are concerned about being a speaker or being part of a program, the first one is, well, Chris, they say, I'm not a great speaker. I need to spend a lot more time speaking better. I need to spend time going to an acting class and Toastmasters. All those things are good, but you can't confuse being a great speaker and getting paid to speak. There's a very clear difference between getting paid as a speaker and speaking well. Let me give you 3 examples. Elon Musk, I know, I've interviewed him. He's not the greatest speaker, but he's a phenomenal man, inspiring entrepreneur. Second example is this, Eckhart Tolle. I went to see Oprah Winfrey at one point, and Oprah Winfrey is like, our next speaker is the Mick Jagger of spirituality. Eckhart Tolle walks on stage. He speaks in this monotone voice with no emotion. I literally fell asleep to Eckhart Tolle. I'm not saying he's not a great writer. I'm not saying he's not a great philosopher. I'm not saying he's not a thought leader. But when Oprah Winfrey says, the Mick Jagger of spirituality, I'm all excited, and I fell asleep. Lastly, Stephen Hawking. The guy is one of the most well-known, famous physicists in the world. He cannot talk. Okay, so push away, burn away those scripts in your mind where you say, I'm not a great speaker, Chris. I'm not a great speaker either. I'm a good speaker. I sometimes mumble. I sometimes talk fast. I sometimes don't enunciate my words, but as I showed you, it's possible because what I've been told by my audiences is that I'm so genuine, I'm so specific, and I give key takeaways. It's not about being a perfect speaker. It's about being a professional speaker, and if you get paid, it's about understanding the sales, the branding, the psychology behind why your client will hire you for your skill set and talent. So burn away the script that says that you have to be a great speaker. You're wasting your time going down this path. What I'm saying to you, you have to understand the branding, the business, and the psychology of sales, and that's why my program has gotten so many insane results. I told you 3 of those stories. Go on YouTube. There's 33 GPS testimonials of the results that we've gotten in just a year. One of my clients made back his money in 2 days. Other clients have made tens of thousands of dollars in a few months. It's consistent because I spent all this time giving over 1,000 presentations to a global audience from 30 countries. I've spoken at Google. I've spoken at American Express. I've spoken at not Trader Joe's. I like Trader Joe's. I've spoken at Farmers Insurance. I've spoken all around the world. The point is, I've codified this into 5 modules. Click on the website, look at the testimonials. It's all about understanding the methodology. Motivation is great, mindset is most important, but if you don't understand the methodology of being a speaker or getting a paid speaker, you will never get the price point you deserve. The branding part is key too. I have some clients that say, you know what, Chris, I don't think I need your program. I've been speaking for 5 years, I've been speaking for 10 years. Well, guess what? I had this really hardcore type A aggressive sales guy saying, oh, I don't need your program. He buys my program, asks for a refund the next day. Before I ripped apart his speaking deck, he wasn't getting the price points he deserves. He's typical of very egocentric people, meaning he thinks he knows that he's a great speaker. He actually is a great speaker. He's been doing this for a while, but he doesn't charge $30,000 or even $10,000. If he actually listened to what I was saying, going back to the wholeheartedness, you'll know that his branding was horrible. I gave him a little tweak, and now he can hopefully charge more. I don't know because he refunded his money, but don't be that person. Don't be egotistical. Always want to learn. Even me, I'm always learning over and over and over again. Yes, I charged $30,000, but I'm going to charge $300,000 at one point, okay? So for you, first objective is Don't worry about speaking great. You have to speak well, you have to speak with a message, but you have to understand the psychology. Second objection is they think that they ask themselves, why should they believe in me, Chris? Great point. They don't believe they have the credibility, which is why I come in and teach you how to build that credibility, how to get featured on Forbes, where our clients have been featured on Forbes, on Business Insider, on Fox News. I've been featured on Huffington Post. My point is, we've gotten our clients featured, so now you have the instant credibility. And lastly, the last reason why they object is they say, well, Chris, I don't have the time. You know, if you don't invest the time and the money, if you don't invest, you'll never have the methodology to do what you want. And it all comes down to two things: mindset and methodology. When people say, oh, I'm so motivating, Chris, that's great. But I give you the methodology that I've learned in 17 years, codified into 5 modules where you have 6 months of a Facebook group where we support you, because there's a reason why geese fly in a V formation in a flock, because they get to the goal faster. They encourage each other. So click on the website, look at my things, look at all the various points, go on the YouTube and look at the 33 videos of testimonials, because any program you invest in, you want to make sure that the people are getting results. Now, of course, there are no guarantees, but the reason why I've been able to get results so quickly for my clients is I didn't come from this self-help-y personal development space, okay? I like that space, but I came from the corporate space. I worked at American Express on Wall Street in New York City. I bought my first apartment when I was 24 in a luxury high-rise. And the reason why I'm giving you this information is because I wish someone told that to me. But when you come from a corporate background, when I was in the mid-20s, I was already building out global sales decks for IBM, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, where the director, vice president, president of these divisions of American Express, their name was on the deck, the sales deck. I created it. It gave me this insane confidence to know that if I can pitch at the highest levels, I can definitely help you. I also wrote a speech for the former vice chairman and CFO from American Express at the time in my 20s. It was the craziest thing to have a distinguished gentleman that high up on the success share my speech verbatim that I wrote. It just blew my mind, which is why I knew that I was good at sales, I was good at presenting, and after I left American Express over 15 years ago, I started getting hired by companies making $5 million, $10 million, $100 million. I just worked with a client recently, now he's about $200 million. I really developed strategy, but this is why I decided to do the GPS program to help everyone that wants to make 6 figures, 7 figures, or 8 figures, because there's too many people that are already well off and they get my access, they get my skill set, they get my strategies, but I want to help the masses, which is why I created the GPS program, which Forbes has stated helps entrepreneurs like yourself become a professional speaker. Click on the website, join a community, start thinking that you can do it to change the mindset, start understanding that you need a methodology, and make sure that you invest your time and money. If you don't invest your time and money, you will never get to where you want to go, but we welcome you, we encourage you to join our community because we want to help you become successful. We want you to help you become what I call a gifted speaker, which is my program. GPS stands for the Gifted Professional Speaker Program. Join us, join our community, go on vacation with us, meet us, and we're super excited to help you achieve your dreams.